All right, already. Let's just get started. Let's go. Here we go, over here. Let's do the thing and get started. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is May 13th, 2024. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. We're going to play a little bit of games first. I haven't played, I didn't touch a laptop at all yesterday. I didn't touch a computer yesterday. I didn't play any games. I got a bunch of stuff done. I spent time with the wife and the family and all that, and the Mother's Day, all these things. I need to get some frustration out, and I need to shoot some things. You know what I'm saying? I want to cause some damage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. How you doing there, chat room? Let me say hello to the chat room. They're right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. You can see right here. Dapper, hello. Good to see you. We're raising money for St. Jude. Great to see folks here again. We are at $1,140 of our $5,000 goal. All month long, we're going to be talking about this. Later this week, we're going to set up and we're going to do a Hot Ones style chicken eating stream. I'll be talking about tech and eating progressively hotter and hotter chicken wings. That's coming up. I'll have a firm schedule announcement when I have everything locked down for that. The challenge is I need to get the chicken wings before I get started here. I need to have somebody deliver, and I need to get that worked out. And our friend Carl Franklin is going to join us. I'm not sure if it's going to be this week. Definitely not going to be next week. Next week he's at Microsoft Build, so we're working that out. How you doing there, C Sharp Titan on YouTube? Harris, is it Harris Psycho? Hello, Robson's here. Good morning to you. Excuse me. Apollo Nitro Evil. Good morning. Good afternoon. I have a little bit of coffee here to get me started. So, let me get. I don't really need music in the background because we're going to be playing Overwatch. I wanted to get started and dive in and play a little. So let me get some things moved around here just a smidge. And let me check my audio settings and make sure that I think we're all set on audio settings. Right? Yeah, that's right. Nope, that's wrong. It doesn't know this hat? It knows this hat. It knows this hat. Hey, wow, I got an endorsement reward. Look at that. That's fancy. That's fancy. Here, head over to the Overwatch. Show you what I'm looking at. How you doing there, PC nerd? Look at that. I got an endorsement award. Wow. Let me get the scoreboard text message in front of me here. Where is it? I know where to find that. I know where to find this. Yes, it is valid. It's just the backslashes are in the wrong direction. Yeah, I tell you. There we go. And I'll just kind of park that off to the side. And we'll keep that up to date. So, hey, that's great. I got an endorsement. Love to see the level 5 endorsement, right? Right? Means I'm a nice guy. You have a quest to begin to complete my C Sharp with Fritz series? It's going to be on the edge with the current episodes? Yeah? How you doing there, Mike? Good to see you. Tired from lack of sleep, but good for a Monday. How am I doing? I'm not bad. A little frustrated and want to take a peek around and shoot some things to get things started here. I am a big fan of Diva, Reinhardt. I've been playing a bit more Moira recently. I'm not a fan of spending $10-15 on skins. It just doesn't do that much for me. That said, though, tomorrow, Overwatch in partnership with Porsche are releasing a skin for the Diva character that I prefer to play. I'm probably going to go grab that. I got to admit, I'm going to grab that. So let's see. I just qualified because of that endorsement, and I pulled down this Baptiste skin. Okay, that's cool. This highlight intro for... Okay, nice. A Widowmaker icon. And I'm working towards this spray. Not bad. All right. All right. I'm going to jump in and get things started with an unranked. Of course, I prefer playing tank. I prefer playing Diva. And I'm going to lean into those a little bit as we get started here. PC Nerd says, need to play more Overwatch. I need to get it back on my PC instead of just my Switch. Mainly been playing Halo Infinite. Hey, whatever makes you happy. Nothing wrong with Halo. Just picked up the keys to your house. Oh my gosh, congratulations, Mike. That is phenomenal. Where's my clap? Where's my applause? There it is. Congratulations. Those types of days where you take a break from technology to spend time with family and friends are much needed. Yes, and that was my day yesterday. All right. I know Hog is the meta right now. I'm really not a fan of that. But I will jump in with the all-white skin here. Since it's in a white-colored map, having a white skin kind of helps to make it a little bit trickier to spot.
Time to save the world? Game on!
Here we go.
You haven't slept.
Yeah. Was up last night, thinking about who we used to be.
Oh, give it a week or two. You'll be used to calling it your place.
Yeah. We did have some
So,
of those.
She has cup holders. I keep pointing this out, but she has cup holders in the mech there. Let's go. Let's go. So this is a capture point in the middle that you have to sit on, you have to stay on and defend longer than the other team. So if you're not familiar with Overwatch, 2 teams of 5, comprised of a tank, 2 healers, and 2 DPS. That's damage per second types of heroes. I'm going to stay down here while they work on that. Yes, hello. And you're dead. Way to go. Hi. Where'd they go?
Forward barrier activated. Enemy turret.
No. I'm not going to be able to hold against 4. The rest of the team had died. Halo's a good first-person shooter fix in between playing through Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Sea of Stars. I'm not familiar with Sea of Stars. So you can see the outlines where my teammates are up there, 4 of them. Good, please take the objective. Oh! Yeah. So I took down the 1 tank and I haven't been able to get any damage in since. So the trick with playing the tank, the brute characters that can take a lot of damage, you see I've got 700 hit points there in the bottom corner, is that you need the help of your team. And without healers helping out, it's kind of hard to do it by yourself.
It was only a warm-up.
Because you don't do a lot of damage. You can squat. You can. Took out 2. Oh, are you kidding? I'm the only one here. I'm the only one there. What the heck? Like... Yep, there we lost the healer. So, yeah, the detonation, so the Diva Bomb doesn't affect the, what Apollo's referring to there is the ultimate, the Q you saw me charge up there. It's a bomb that detonates. Doesn't affect your team at all. There is no friendly fire in this game.
I'm in.
You can abuse the heck of that. Get down to the point and go take it out. I'm done. Yeah, everybody walked away.
Don't tilt, Tana. You got this.
Like, you've died 6 times and haven't gotten an elimination yet. Ow! Nope. Nope, there's nobody with me. There's nobody with me. Like,
this ends now.
They're standing still and they're not attacking. Like, you're complaining that somebody has an aimbot and you're not doing anything. Come on. Some people are just idiots. So, Eichenwald. This is a German, supposed to be German castle ruins that we're attacking. Diva's actually quite good on it because there's a number of pits and holes and things, and you're able to recover if you get pushed off into it. So, and we'll go with the green bot for this one. Yes, being aggressive is key. Go! Attack!
Time to save the world.
Stay as DPS, as healers. Stay as a group and go to the point.
My eyes water. Was good. No mistakes. No mercy.
That's funny. R.I.P. goats. That's funny. So, I was only planning to play maybe 3 or 4 games, and then go over and I'll show you what some of the research I've done on creating invitation codes. Because what I want to do, I want Aspirify to not have any passwords, and the initial group of folks log in with.
See you at the finish line. Initiating the best
Yeah,
nature.
thanks.
Nothing gets past me.
Hi. You twit. Didn't see where they went.
Forward barrier activated.
This choke point here.
Initiating the best nature.
That's what I thought. So this map can be a little bit snowbally. Oh, you. I just saw her. Where'd she go? That was a bad place. That was a bad placement. Oh, come on. I was on him. Nope. Nope. Yeah, fall back now. Okay. All right. He's up top. Yeah, yeah. Darn it. Took out the healer. And the tank.
Surrender my will. On the objective and ready for action.
Hold the point. Where is he?
If they want this push, they'll have to go through me.
Nope.
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, he's healing nothing. I know. I know, I'm feeling that.
Reset and regroup. My ultimate is almost ready.
Over here.
Nerf this. Calling in the big guns. Let's mess up this party.
Get on the point, get on. Nope. I ran right by the team. And they didn't follow me.
Play of the year.
Like, this is what happens when you're in pickup games. Folks either play together and help out, or we fall like crazy. Like, I had healers sticking with me for the first bit, but they did not stick for the second half of that game after we pushed through. I took down the other tank and disappeared. Disappeared, man. I can go Diva or Reinhardt on this one. I'm going to start with Diva. Let's see where we get. But it's so frustrating. I'm in these bronze games and I cannot get collaboration at all. At all.
Time to save the world. Game on. Welcome to Rio, ladies and gentlemen.
I might take you up on that, Mike. You've seen Junie Von Esch jump into stream here.
How can
We play a
down
bit,
those cute little rabbits?
and no, I'm not playing competitive. I'm playing pickup, just quick play.
Your worth is a
And
hypothesis.
Junie and I have been playing very well together, with her picking up a Lucio or Zenyatta healer and helping me out, and we just steamroll people.
3, 2, objective 1. Attack commencing.
Oh, look, there's
Objective A.
You want to tip?
yep, there's no. You really want me to come all the way back?
Sorry about that. Cheeky.
Come on now.
My ultimate is almost ready. Booting up. Let's make up this party.
They're still...
Hiya. I'm on offense. Neutralizing projectile. Our numbers are low. Diving in.
Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. The duo vibes. Yeah, I think we've done a good job working together.
Don't tilt, Hana. You got this.
We're both leveling up our skills.
We're outnumbered.
I'm getting better. She's getting better.
Nothing gets past me. Time for the
Really? Where the heck are the healers? No, we had clouds all weekend, PC nerd. There they are. They're out there. That's what I was looking for. Oh. How did I not get credit for that kill?
Your carry is here.
Escort the payload.
Nothing gets past me.
Oh, okay. Hey, Chris Jones. Hello. And here comes the vehicle.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Yeah, there's two of them up top. Interesting. All right, that works. Ooh, move out of the way. Here comes a dragon. That sounds weird to say, but trust me. It kind of works for this game. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm dead. 95, 96%. The total eclipse now that aurora. Yeah, that's a butt. That's a bunch. Yeah, we were able to see it was very cloudy in this area, and we were able to see. What was that? Go ahead, hide back there. No. They took down two of us. Let's go.
How's it going?
Let's see if I can go stop some bad guys around the corner. But notice how the group is working together. And look, I don't have great aim. I know this. No. I got too far ahead. They're not... I turned around and looked and they weren't back there. Yeah, group up. Yeah. Let's go. When you play as a team, you win.
Helping you out.
And at this level, I'm bronze. Like, you just gotta stick together.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Look, 3 of us just attacked and took out.
I'm not giving up.
Get the payload on its way.
My ultimate is charging. Neutralizing projectile. Time for the reckoning. Initiating defense matrix. Our numbers are low. Surrounded by will. Nerf this.
Oh, darn it, it went in the room. Well, okay, got 2 of them. Gotta get over on the point. Nope, nobody's here. That's game. Darn it. Nope. What is this person ramming? I don't know about. Nope. Nope. Mike says my playstyle can't seem to make its mind up. Some days I'm all aim, no brains. Other days I'm total opposite. Yeah. She froze down the enemies up here, and we were able to take them down. But like, one more, and we'll get into some coding. Yeah, popping off? Yeah, I did. I got a triple kill. 15 eliminations from within 15 meters. Yep. 10 eliminations without dying. Yeah. Hey, Dylan, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. So we'll finish this game and we'll talk about a little bit of that frustration. You might have seen a tweet from me this weekend. I don't know. Did you see me tweet this weekend? Because... dear Lord, like, I don't need to say it for this audience because a lot of you have been watching me for some time. But dear Lord, are people on Twitter just this dense? Dense isn't even the right word. The bias. I learned something 20 years ago, and it must still be true today. That mindset frustrates the hell out of me. Hey, Dylan says, hope you're having a good day, good evening. Yeah, we are, Dylan. It's morning here where I am on the east coast of these United States, having a little bit of coffee, playing a little bit of Overwatch. About the bias against .NET. Yeah. So I'll bring it up and show it in a little bit, but the gist of it was there was somebody who claims to be a reporter claiming that nobody uses .NET off of Windows and that startups don't like it and only enterprises use it. And they couldn't be further from the truth. Like, it's not even funny how wrong they were. Do you have any idea that most of the AAA game studios out there use .NET extensively? Not a little bit, extensively. Did you know that? Did you know that most governments use .NET at some level? Did you know that? Did you know .NET works on Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android? Tizen? Natively? Evidently, this person didn't. Yeah. Studios like Nintendo use .NET extensively. Dylan's a platform engineer consulting in Australia. .NET is pretty well presented. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for joining us and staying up, Dylan. Appreciate it. And we're going to get in a little bit more here. Like, I'm not saying that you need to use .NET. I don't care if you use .NET or not. I'd like you to. I'd like you to give it a try. But don't make a judgment on a technology based on something that happened 20 years ago and assume that it must still be true. The only constant in this industry is change. The only constant is change. Hey there. Like, these are the same people that are often running and choosing a new UI framework with JavaScript every week. Like, okay, we got a Brigitte over there. All right. Really? No. Really? Okay, so I lost my healer right away, the Moira. And she didn't do much healing either. Oh. See you in a bit there, PC nerd. Wait until that tank. Where'd they go? Hi. Have some of this. Oh, are you kidding? Did I solve the publishing problems? No, I didn't, Jim. And quite frankly, I've stumped the .NET team. So I've got 3 eliminations. We got to take out their Pharah. Come on, team. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, okay.
This ends now. I'm taking off. There's much for you to do. Come here, Toki.
There we go. Look, see what happens when we push the point?
Let shadow consume you.
Target locked. Open fire. Nothing gets past me.
All right.
Forward barrier. System shutting off. Initiating defense matrix.
Hold them down there.
Nerf this. Come here, Toki. I'm on fire. What else is new? Just rain from above. Good on the forecast. Nerf this. You mean? Come on. Miss me?
How's that? 8-3-3. Our Farah. Doing pretty good.
I'm on top of the world.
I bet you are.
Engaging thrusters. Systems running hot. Initiating defense matrix.
No. Couldn't get away. Couldn't get away. Did they flip it? I think they flipped it.
Reset and regroup.
Nope, they flipped it. Gosh. Close. So, yeah, we ran into this publishing problem with Aspirify, so I'm publishing to a new location, and it still won't publish.
The suspense is terrible.
Is this game built in using C#? So the game directly is not built with C#. They wrote it with C++.
Well,
There's
maybe I
other
gained a little too.
parts of the build-in, deployment, and management that are built with C#. Not just that, but they debug their servers with Visual Studio. So these are things that they've blogged about, that they've shared.
Makes the comeback all the more exciting.
But a lot of game studios like to keep a lot of that information close to the chest.
Initiating defense matrix. Neutralizing projectile.
They're behind me, and I've got...
Nothing gets past me.
Get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Nice. Well, I took that one out. 75% to coming back. 80. Come on, come on. There we go. Retreat and hide.
Brimming with firefight.
65. She's coming right over here.
Justice breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, time for the reckoning.
Didn't get it. Oh, you son of a gun!
Nerf this.
Our junkyard's doing phenomenal. Junkyard. Listen to me.
I'm not giving up. Initiating defense matrix. Oops! Was that your best? If they want this push, they'll have to go through me. Forward barrier activated. Have the fun, yeah?
Life protects life.
Pirate disengaged. On the offensive is ready for action.
Hold. Oh, I was out of the ring. Oh, I thought it was out of the ring. All right, they're gonna flip it. Did we take it? We took it. Oh my gosh, we might get a win here. Oh my gosh, we might get a win. All right, all right.
Lovely armor for a mission, isn't it?
So, yeah, I actually spoke to one of the engineers, one of the Azure engineers, and there's errors being thrown by the Azure developer tool that they've never seen before.
5, 4,
So
2, 1. Round.
they started looking at it, and do we have a Symmetra this time? Okay. Symmetra opens portals, puts out these little turrets that shoot lasers. Oh.
Initiating defense matrix.
Come here. There we go. Yeah, it's a trade. I'll take it. Holy crow.
Mind your surroundings.
I'm not giving up.
I see 3 of them, 4 of them down there. Let's go.
Neutralizing projectile.
Got an enemy here.
Forward barrier activated.
One less healer. No!
Justice reigns from above.
The AZDCLI.
Setting out the welcome mat.
Heroes never die.
That's right. Let me keep hitting that.
Justice reigns from above.
Here we come. Yeah, justice from above my foot. Fine, you want to put me in the cage? No. Took me out from above. I got 30 eliminations on this board. Like, 40 contributions. Like, let's go. We're about to win this.
My ultimate is almost ready.
We dropped 2.
I'm on fire.
Got it. Finally. And what a fine place to end. Right about my normal start time. I will take it.
Play of the game.
Compliment my healers. Like, that was rough. I'm trying to scroll back there. Yeah, nobody. Okay. Yep, tip your healers, absolutely. Junie, oh my gosh, hello. We were just saying about Mike, and there were some words there in chat about how you and I make a good team. The playoff of each other works really well together. So I'm up and I'll be working on 65 here, but that's where I think I want to end here today. Nope, not that. This one. And let me shift some things around and we'll get in and start talking about the code we're going to write today. So there was a question about it, so I'll absolutely answer it. The problems we were having with deployment, they're still out there. The Azure team's working on it. I haven't heard anything back from them. And we can't update aspirify.net yet. They're working on it. They're looking at it. We'll see what happens next. I want to get into and wrench on adding authentication to this so that folks can log in, folks can either maintain articles online or start submitting articles at some point for the aspirify.net website. So there we go. Shifting to coding mode here. So I can still update and post articles locally, and that's fine. That the website is out there. It's running. Folks can find it. Folks can see the content and interact with it. But let's start talking about. Let's get into building and adding authentication, so it becomes a bit more of an ecosystem. So the tweet that I had this weekend that stirred up a bit of controversy, and I'm going to bring that up because I got folks. I certainly got folks talking about this, and I'll talk about this briefly before we start coding here. Let me see here. Continuing. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Let's head over to this and we can talk briefly about this. It's right there. I wrote, I'm really tired of folks bashing on .NET and the Microsoft developer ecosystem without really looking at what's available today. Notice, I'm not saying you should use this. I'm not saying you're a jerk if you don't use this. Quite frankly, what I want to say is you're a jerk if you don't know what's going on. You're an idiot. You're a schmuck. If you don't know what's going on in the Microsoft ecosystem and you're telling people, oh, you shouldn't go near there. Really? You don't want to use anything that Microsoft built because of Silverlight. Really? Have you seen how some of these other ecosystems fork and break each other and the infighting that happens on that? Hey, Corey. So misinformed. So misinformed. You don't want to use Silverlight. They're going to abandon. Tell that to a Python 2.7 developer. .NET's not used by startups because nobody wants to take a dependency on a service that's going to cost them $50 a month. No, but they want to spend $3,000 on a laptop, on a Mac laptop for folks, and pay nothing for tools that are actually going to help them and they're going to get support on. They'd rather spend the money on building their own tools, their own CI/CD, their own support structure. You realize how dumb that sounds from a business point of view. And then they're going to go and say, well, I need AWS free credits. Here's the deal. If you're a startup, there are amazing programs available for free. $150,000 is available to you in hosting credits, software credits, AI credits, GitHub Premium Services, Microsoft 365, LinkedIn Premium so you can network and market, and unlimited one-to-one meetings with mentors and experts from Microsoft. These people have a gripe with Microsoft. They have a bias. They claim they don't have a bias, that they're experts, that they're reporters who know what's best for the ecosystem. Bullshit. You don't know jack squat. And from your own admission, you haven't even looked at this since 2013. 2013 is literally 12 years ago. You might as well not have looked at it for more than 50 years, because in tech, things move that fast. You don't know what .NET Core is. You don't know what .NET 8 is. You have no idea what Blazor is. Have you worked with GitHub Actions? Have you heard about .NET Aspire? No. Why? Because you won't even look over your walled garden at what else is going on. You are so full of garbage. You are a worthless commentator on this community and ecosystem, spreading nothing but vile messages that nobody needs to take seriously because you don't know what you're talking about. You are a mindless twit who is trolling, and people are believing you because you speak with an angry, negative voice about a popular target. You make me want to vomit. You are disgusting. You are a terrible reporter. You want to know what's actually going on? I would be happy to bring you on and give you a tour and show you the amazing features that are available, and then judge. Making a judgment about some decision that was made 15, 20 years ago gets you nowhere in this industry. And that's a fact. Because it has broken trillion-dollar companies, billion-dollar companies. You are showing your bias. You are showing that you are a worthless commentator on these topics. And people are going to continue following you and listening to you because you continue to bash on and take a popular angle. However, it's not an informed angle. It's not an informed position. And you won't even take a minute to listen to what's going on out there. The number of governments, Fortune 500 companies, just about every Fortune 500 company uses it, by the way. The number of game studios, and just about every AAA game studio uses it too, by the way. Not to write the games, but to build and manage the games and services that it runs on. To debug and manage. Oh, people aren't going to spend $50 a month on their developer tools, but they're going to spend $100 a month on these folks to have free Ubers back and forth from home and have chefs cooking their meal, 3 meals a day at the office, but they won't spend $50 a month on getting them the proper tools they need to get the job done. Go pound sand. Go pound sand. How you doing there, old, bald, and grumpy? Look, .NET's been around for 25 years. Visual Studio's been around for 25 years. .NET, it's going to be 23 years old this year. 23. I got people in Twitter that are complaining, hey, I want to have choices in web frameworks to use. Okay, go ahead and build one. No, I don't want to build one. Well, that's not my problem. Complaining that you don't have a choice in web frameworks, does that somehow add value if you've got multiple web frameworks? Look at the arguments that go on in those communities where they've got multiple web frameworks. Oh, mine's better than yours. And they're not coming together and delivering something that gives value. ASP.NET is used on one of the biggest search engines in the world. ASP.NET's used in a number of websites in the top 50 most visited websites in the world. ASP.NET manages and delivers content for ChatGPT. I'm still on Overwatch 2. I didn't flip it over yet. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. I'll flip that over. There we go. Like, these folks are proving their bias. They're proving their naivete by not looking at what's being produced by the largest software company in the world. Why are you erecting a stone wall and not even consider what's going on there? And listening and hanging on every word that Mark Zuckerberg says? Really? Really? These people are idiots. Oh, thank you. Here, look at this person. This is the type of discussion. Until yesterday, I didn't know .NET had cross-platform capabilities. Like, Xamarin's been out since 2010. You're literally 15 years out. Okay? It's on the website, in the documentation, but no notable recommendation anywhere when I tried to search for the cross-platform stacks. Now, they're saying cross-platform here. I know because I read further down, they're referring to cross-platform mobile development. It must be targeted towards enterprises and not developers. I'm broadcasting on Twitch. They could literally do a Google search. So they did. Cross-platform app development tools. Notice they're not showing where this is coming from. Notice also, this is Google, by the way, and Google puts right up top 2 of the things they're working on. Like, Google search is very biased. And when they did a search, cross-platform mobile app devs toolkit, right? Once again, not showing their search engine, purposely hiding their search engine information. And Kotlin is down here, React, Vue, or Angular. Literally 3 JavaScript frameworks. Nothing listed here. So unless another developer somewhere told me verbally, I wouldn't know .NET had this capability. Google did fire, not their entire Flutter team, but a number of folks from it. This person claims they're an AWS expert, and they keep talking about cross-platform. Now, when we who build tools hear cross-platform, first thing we think of is Windows, Mac, and Linux. This person's talking about mobile, but they haven't said the word mobile yet. But they proclaim they're an AWS expert. Have you seen their recent discussions and promotions around .NET Aspire and .NET on AWS? Like, I'm extending an olive branch here. For the most part, I'm not bothered about which back-end language framework one is trying to run. So this person is literally complaining, nobody talks about this, and in the next breath, I don't read what people say that they support and what new features are available. Like, literally, not just backtracking, but literally contradicting themselves. This is the kind of people that are out there in our technology ecosystem that, as part of my job, I'm trying to reach. I don't care if you use .NET or Visual Studio. I'd like you to. I'd like you to. I'd like you to at least, but my push is I want you to at least know .NET is not Windows only. You are not required to use .NET on SQL Server. Oh, we had that statement 2-3 months ago, that the only place you can run .NET is on SQL Server. Not with it, but inside the SQL Server database runtime. But you can run .NET on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And you can build iOS, Android, and Tizen apps. Like, there's a great developer experience in a bunch of different places. And folks complaining, well, I need to pay $50 a month to use it. Do you not pay for your developer tools? No? Okay. How much time do you spend maintaining your developer tools? There's a reason why there are millions of people that use editors with syntax highlighting and pay for it. It's a little weird that the guy starts an argument with, I'm an expert. Right? You're an expert. Do you know who you're talking to? You're literally talking to a guy who's a developer advocate for a company that specializes in open telemetry, and another guy who's a community manager for Microsoft. And you know better than us. Johan says AWS does so much talk about .NET and so much advertising for it on their cloud platform. Exactly. This is why DevX is so... What do you mean by... Hang on. What do you mean by DevX? Developer experience? Is that what you're referring to? You're referring to, like, the complete development, tooling, developer experience. Okay, just making sure I know what you're talking about, Dylan. Because folks have used some terms, some abbreviations, and we've missed context on them. So just making sure. Yes, companies that do developer experience bad do have high rates of churn in developers. Absolutely. So, look, I'm not picking a fight with anybody. I'm not. But folks who have made it clear that they don't know what they're talking about and they don't want to even listen to the story, go away. This is another one, good one. We use what is required by clients. My most recent project, we got to make platform and tooling decisions on our own, so we used Postgres, Node, Python, and JavaScript. Okay, with appropriate tooling for a GIS data pipeline, global information system, data pipeline, and visualization. We do use VS Code too. It's nice. Okay, fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that you're required to, but if those are the tools you like, go for it. So, one of the main pluses of C# and .NET is all the written documentation, says Acme Games. I can understand not looking at the documentation if it's a form of YouTube videos. Kind of agree with you. Burger B says we use NHibernate at work, and the lack of clear usable documentation on it is a pain point. Yes. That's absolutely an issue. I tried to dive back into NHibernate and so then these folks started dropping in on my conversation and started pushing the drop the dot movement. Shut up and stop hijacking my thread. You want to push drop the dot? Go do that on your own thread. Have a good one, Dylan. Thank you so much for dropping in. We're going to get into coding in just a minute. I trust Blazor more than the popular JavaScript frameworks. Look at the older .NET web technologies as a reference. Tons of pages still use them. They're updated, and there is competency in the market. No doubt in my mind for an enterprise application stack. Totally. Everything else from Microsoft is widely used. VS Code, TypeScript. .NET lost in the previous hype cycles and is niched into gaming or enterprise. Hang on. The big successful businesses and gaming industry use .NET. So Go is mainly DevOps tooling. Really? Right? Too many people are still butthurt about Microsoft's early anti-competitive days. Yeah, I totally hear that. Glenn Hendrickson writes in, we're a Norwegian law tech startup happily using all of .NET on the back end and our internal case management tool in Blazor. At front end is React. Got help from Microsoft for startups the first 2 years, which allowed us to experiment with infrastructure and tools for free. Cool. I'm amazed at the shift at Microsoft over the last 10 years. Right. Go is a systems language. Yes. Never trust them. This person writes, in response to here. The problem is not C#, problem is Microsoft. People are sick of Microsoft's bait and switch strategy. There is no guarantee that the next version of .NET would suddenly become commercial with per-core licensing and screw the companies running them. This is what Java and Oracle did to people. Microsoft has never charged for .NET. .NET source code has always been free. It hasn't necessarily taken commits back. Is 10 years of open source development on .NET Core and .NET 9 enough? There are no plans to charge for .NET. And this person writes, never trust them. So they're clearly saying, I have a bias because it's Microsoft. Okay. This is somebody who's never going to try the ecosystem. Johan uses .NET at a partially government-funded charity organization. Cool. That's great. There is so much, especially on F#. Absolutely. You won't find me saying bad things about F# or Visual Basic on this channel. I prefer C#. You're welcome to use F#, Visual Basic with .NET. Nothing wrong with those languages. They're not my cup of tea. That's all. If Microsoft decided to do something different, fork the code, and there will be an open .NET like every other thing. That's right. Microsoft doesn't need... .NET doesn't even own... Wait, Microsoft doesn't even own .NET. That's the .NET Foundation. The .NET Foundation is the custodian for the .NET source code. Yes. My only real dislike is that it's synonymous with ASP, which is just so overkill in terms of complexity for anything other than enterprise. I really like C#. I love the PSR standards for PHP, and .NET doesn't have anything like it. I'm not sure what they mean by PSR standards. But this is somebody who hasn't seen ASP.NET Core. Like, have you seen ASP.NET Core and minimal APIs? Blazor and .NET Aspire are pretty cool for building application systems. Brazilian... Here, folks complaining that there was no Visual Studio freely available. Check out Visual Studio Community. This isn't so much a marketing thing. This is people aren't, even when we promote, people see Microsoft and refuse to look. Refuse. I agree, Jan. Minimal APIs do rule. Old Bald and Grumpy was a developer for the Air Force for 20 years. Oh, that's awesome. Old Bald and Grumpy, thank you for your service. When I wasn't working on COBOL, it was C#. I'll admit that we got bit by the Silverlight thing, but I'll never go back to Java. So, yeah. The way ASP.NET Core actually works, makes a link to the website is genius. It does now, yeah. Glassy Boy, hello. Thank you for the follow. PSR PHP standards recommendations. I'm not familiar with those. Oh, and that's a Wikipedia article. Auto-loading standard. Mandatory requirements must be adhered to for auto-loader interoperability. Logger interface. Common interface for logging. Auto-loading standard. Wait, didn't we see that? Caching interface. HTTP messaging interface. .NET doesn't need standards recommendations because we have a base class library. Which is something that you don't have in PHP or JavaScript. Did dev for the IRS, and there were a lot of COBOL trying to convince them to use .NET was a thing, but they did start experimenting back in 2000 when you were there back in 2007. Okay, Corey. Okay, so help me with this. We tried to port our server app to Linux. Well, that was an experience. Mono was terrible. VS Code is not good enough. We ended up rewriting in Java. David Fowler writes, how many years ago was that? Well, yeah, we can write C# code on Linux using VS Code, but we started hitting roadblocks. Also, substandard tooling. What? So saying .NET works on Linux is the same as saying games run on Linux as good as Windows. We know what the truth is. Winky face. Do you? I have several websites that run as .NET 8 containers running Linux with very good performance. Were you using .NET 8? What tools were you using? I've been coding all evening on VS Code on my Kubuntu laptop. Been very productive. Websites are a different story altogether. Talking about server-side desktop applications. Now let me back up here. We tried to port our server app to Linux. What is a server-side desktop application? What is that? Phil, thank you so much for the resub. 35 months, and I'll make a donation at the end of this month to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Yeah. What are server-side desktop applications? And this smartass writes back, what is a web? What is a desktop application? Don't know. I'm not even going to respond to this because you've shown me you really don't know what you're talking about. And this guy, Gurji Arose, that's the moron we're talking about here. Napalm with the Prime sub. Thank you so much. 24 months with us, and I'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Currently working with 3 startups, all on .NET and Azure, says Dave McCullough. Most people of a certain age have a perspective on Microsoft stuck in the 90s. So this is, like, I tweeted this on Saturday, and I dealt with this a bit yesterday. It's very challenging to follow tutorials when they're in Visual Studio. This popular tutorial is VS Code. Even the ones from me on the .NET channel are in Visual Studio. Dude. No. Did you know if it's because if ASP.NET is good versus the barrier to entry to building alternative frameworks is too high? So this person, Stephen Liu, is upset because there aren't other web frameworks with .NET. You must use ASP.NET. Why don't you write one if you'd like another one? No, I'm not going to write one because it's oppressive that there aren't others. Really? So, because ASP.NET is good and does what folks need, people aren't building another one. And because people aren't building another web framework, it means .NET is bad. These people are idiots. But this is what my job is, getting people informed. When we talk about game studios using a lot of .NET, this is what we're talking about. And our friend Fierce Kittens, much respect to Fierce Kittens. She knows her way around the gaming industry, has worked for a number of studios, including Electronic Arts and a subsidiary, one of Nintendo's studios. Been saying it for years. She doesn't have the tech following and reach. That's fine. And I'm happy to amplify her message. Happy to amplify. The point on the age of ASP.NET Core is laughable, right? Oh, well, it's been around for so long. Folks really should build something new. Really? Ben Adams was about to build his own server, and he said, you know what? This is really good. I'm just going to help them make this better. And then I've got the team at Microsoft not only building it, making it better, but supporting it. In economics, they call that negative correlation. ASP is good, so nobody wants to make an alternative. Right. Ford was good when they started making cars. It became a strong business line and put out of business a bunch of other folks, so they started building alternate cars. Chevy, Daimler, so on and so forth. Yeah. Do folks build other parts and things that you can swap into your car? Sure. And Ford doesn't go down that path and say, look, here's a bunch of different steering wheels that you can get and different radios that you can get to put into your car. No. They let other people do that. But saying that I shouldn't buy a Ford because they don't make available other steering wheels that I can put in my car is just stupid. So, these are the types of arguments and discussions that folks are complaining about, and that this is my job. Experiences, because you have awesome viewpoints and experiences that need to be heard. I'm going to amplify. I'm not giving her message. I'm amplifying it. Hey, Warm Peas. You're having one of those Mondays where nothing seems to work. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's frustrating. Let's head over to, and this is, right, I keep forgetting, is it this? Yeah, there it is. This is the Aspirify.net website source code. You can find Aspirify.net. This is a news aggregator website that I wrote that's going to bring together content about the .NET Aspire framework that's growing and is going to be made available, hitting RTM next week. Next week is Microsoft Build. I will not be there. I'll be right here talking to you about all the announcements, all the things that are going on, and having a good time discussing and hoping to move things forward. All right? So I've been building and adding features to this. We finished building a microservice that generates thumbnails to go along with this. Blazer, Mr. Magoo, 71 months.
.NET across platform? Angry face.
Is .NET across platform? Right? Are you kidding me? So, thank you so much. You're looking at a resource not found error while you're looking at the bloody resource and cannot find a reason why it cannot find it. My next guess would be permissions, Johan. Those types of things. You will be in State College. Oh, man. I do enjoy going to State College. The next pieces that I want to add to this website are authentication. Will they use Tags app on Microsoft Build? No. Nope. I'm trying to get more folks to use TagZap. We will be using TagZap as part of .NET Conf. Oh boy, and wait till you see what we do with TagZap at Microsoft Bill. At Microsoft. We will use TagZap as part of .NET Conf. Wait till you see what we do with it at .NET Conf. You're trying to get session storage working on a Blazor server application. Why? Okay, Corey. Yeah, give me a buzz. I can definitely help you with that. Is TagZap a server desktop cross-platform framework? It's social, local, and mobile. Solo mo. So we have that going for TagZap. I want users to be able to run a search query, but store the search query so when they return to the initial search page, it shows them the results again. Solo mo, right? In the browser. Okay. That's session storage. Right, you have to run that after render, so you've got the JavaScript available for you. And that can be a thing. That's right. TagZap is solo mo, social, local, and mobile, making the world a better place. The Silicon Valley vibes are so smooth today.
You can do it!
We can. So, I wanted to start adding authentication to this. And as of .NET 8, the story with the new .NET identity is copying the features from an existing application. Yeah. So I don't have inside the Aspirify website, I don't have those pages, those features. So we're going to add them. And then I'm going to take password login out. I don't want you to be able to log in with a password. You must use Microsoft Authentication, GitHub, Twitter, Google, one of those OpenID login mechanisms to log in with. Then I'm going to set it up so that we can generate invite codes. So for at least the first block of users on Aspirify, the only way to be able to register is through an invite code. Those are the 3 steps that I want to start today. All right? So I hope that answers your question there, Frostturn, to give a little bit of that recap. So I'm going to create a project command here. Count 0 interrupted. Thank you so much for the follow. Adding auth. Let's say auth with OpenID and invite codes to aspirify.net. There you go. And I'll even pin that message. Yep. So that folks on Twitch see that. If you're on YouTube, I think it's in the description. Yeah, it's in the description what we're working on. So there you go. Thank you so much, everybody who's watching on YouTube, folks that are watching on Twitch. Really appreciate you joining me here today. So actually, the authentication, that's a topic, Corey, that you and your team are in and you like. Getting some of what was said, wasn't sure. No problem, Frostturn. Happy to answer the questions and adding, and you reminded me I needed to pin that message, so much appreciate. Much appreciate. Apollo says, looking forward to the Microsoft Build event. For all those who say .NET doesn't work on enough platforms, it even works on the NES. Yeah. Yeah. Wait till you see what I'm going to do here. And actually, I need to remind myself, I want to ping you off stream to talk about auth a little bit. No, NuGet is allowed. I always keep yeah, Blazor storage, that's a good implementation. Let's go. Let's get into this. So, Aspirify has all kinds of stuff in the headers to help with Open Graph, Twitter, these types of things so that folks see the content. But I'm going to start bringing in... I'm in the main branch. Let me open a new terminal because I program with .NET at the terminal. Yep. Not .NET, Git branch. So my thumbnail service, the work that I was doing deploying, I'm going to create a new branch. Not branch. Feature auth. Because I'm going to start off with adding everybody with the same... So, right, authentication, authorization. I'm going to add everybody with the same authorization. If you get invited, you're made an admin role. Eventually, I will back off that authorization, and people will not be administrators. But I want to be able to send an invite and, for the get-go, specify you are an administrator. So I'm just going to call this to start just auth, because I'm going to grant those users for this initial pass administrator authorization to be able to come through. So, it's a hobby project. It's a little bit of experimentation that a couple folks have been working on. There's a group out there that's been building with .NET for the NES. So, like, to be clear, it's not something that Microsoft fully supports. But this is Jonathan Pepper's. It's a hobby project of making C# programs run on a 1985 game console with a 6502 microprocessor. So, and yeah, it's out there. They even built a template to start working on it. So it's out there. There's a group of folks working on it. So, like, even formalizing it and bringing a bit of this together now. Here's Tom Reich talking about NES game hacking with the .NET tools. Most folks are using an emulator to work with it. So, but there are tools out there folks are using, and that might be something that's fun that you can tinker with. And another way for you to take your C# and .NET expertise, learn a different framework, and use those same language and tools. When is Microsoft Build? Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. So, yep. Thank you for the link there, Apollo. Appreciate you sharing that. Is the runtime running on that thing? No, I think I don't think they're running the full runtime. I think they're ahead of time compiling to get it running. Hey there, Slip Second. Thank you so much for the follow. So, let's here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of cheat. Kind of cheat? More than kind of cheat. Let's do .NET new. We're going to build a Blazor application, but I want to generate with auth, so I pass in -au. All right, -au, and let's call this Blazor template with auth, because I'm just going to grab those files out of it and move it over. What? .NET new Blazor. It was right there. -au, right there. Oh, I got to specify individual. Fine. Cool. Blazor template with auth. There we go. And I'll open that in VS Code so we can see the files. Right. I thought it was Tuesday. I wish I can flight. Hello. Welcome. And Microsoft right now is very much glued to the Washington State Convention Center. See, May 21, week from tomorrow. Very much glued to it because that means that for most of the folks that they're going to send, they don't need to have them travel. So they don't have to pay tax on the location. They don't have to pay to have folks travel to go there. So yeah, 21st, not the 22nd. However, right, if you... I don't think there's any .NET content on day one. Agenda. Opening keynote. 2-hour keynote. Wednesday, 1.5-hour keynote. One event, 3.5 hours of keynotes. Okay. But if we look at just Tuesday, AI everywhere, AI. Topic. Sure, developer tools. 4 p.m. talking about developer experiences. This does not talk about .NET. This is an Azure tooling talk. RAG, AI-driven, DevBox, Copilot, LLMs, AI with your .NET apps. At 6:30 Eastern, that's 3:30 Pacific. Literally end of day one. Day two. There's the .NET Aspire talk, and it's a lab. Oh, they did decide to host a lab. I was quite vocal that they needed to have labs. And look, they decided to have labs. Demystify, this is the one that everybody wants to see. So, like, the rest of this are .NET Aspire with Visual Studio, yes. Most of these other talks aren't really introducing new things. Cloud native apps, once again, a lab. No. Right. What's new in Copilot and Visual Studio? Literally, this is a blog post. So. So a demo that's only a 15-minute session. Lab. Yeah. So. They're labs. They don't record the labs. I patently disagree with that. I believe that teaching labs online is something that extends the reach, enables and empowers you as viewers. And quite frankly, looking at the viewership numbers for my streams on the .NET channel, where I literally teach a lab every week. It's the most watched content that's regularly streamed from Microsoft. Not from Developer Division, not from .NET, not from Visual Studio. No, from all of Microsoft. Go Pound Sand. Does anyone stream the event? It's live streamed. The whole event will be live streamed. You can watch most of the content, the labs, and some other first-person experiences, in-person experiences. They are not streaming. All right, let me get back over here. Let's talk about, and we're gonna figure out and get the authentication and authorization components moved into Aspirify, and then we're gonna pull out the ability to register with a password, to freely register. We're gonna pull that completely out. We're gonna start to pull it out, but we're gonna pull out the ability for you to register with a password. Liliana!
Triona just resubscribed for 35 months.
35 months? Has it been that long? Thank you so much, my friend. Almost 3 years. Sean with 24 months.
Sean just resubscribed for 24 months.
Thank you so much. 2 years with us. Almost 3 years for Liliana. Thank you so much. And I'll make donations at the end of the month to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Thank you for that support. So I'm going to start moving. I'm going to start with the account folder here. Move that whole enchilada over. And there's a change in AppRaiser. Is it AppRaiser? No. It's in routes. There it is. Authorize route view. We need to pull that in as well. And redirect to login. Where's redirect to login? Hang on. Yeah. There it is. And all it does is navigate to account login with a return URL. Like, that stuff's built for you, you know? Can be fun to watch with a group. Totally agree. Totally agree. So let's copy some of these files over. So I'm going to reach into components. I'm going to take the account, the entire account folder, and I'm going to move it into dev, Aspirify, right? No. There we go. And then components. Okay. Cool. I need to bring over oops, that little bit of code in routes here, right? So right there. Authorize route view. And that should be inside found. And that's in place of this. Okay. I'm missing some references. I need to add identity for Entity Framework Core. And the Entity Framework tools. I'm not going to bring in SQLite. I want to use Postgres for this. Storage queues is pointing to a preview 6 version. Let's get rid of that. I'll add these. And what was the last one there? There we go. Cool. Okay. So it's in the application. You can't really navigate to it yet. I need to add the hooks into accessing those things. So it wasn't a permission problem, but more of an assignment problem. So a permission problem. Okay. Hey, Johan, that's great to hear that you got a solution. Fantastic. All right. Moving on. So inside program over here, it adds the authentication state right here. So there's also a data branch here that has the database context and the database user. I'm going to name mine something different. And I'm going to move mine outside the application. Trying to clean bicep code. Oh, man. I'm going to create a security project that has my migrations in it. And I'll show you why in a minute. Because this is something that I'm going to start teaching this week. I'm going to add a new project over here. Skylevi. Hello. Welcome. I'm going to add a class library. And I'm going to call this Aspirify Data Security. Because I'm going to put just the security-related stuff in here. Where is it? Give me the no. I want an item group. Thank you. Over here. And sure, I'll take that. I'll take that too. Yeah, and you know what? I'm just going to move that whole enchilada right there. I think I also need the design time tools as well, don't I? Don't I? I think I do. Okay. I don't. I don't see it here yet, but I think I will. Pac-Man says, I know the template can do the auth. Do they have a way to run add auth to existing project? We used to have that. They, in the rush to update the identity in .NET 8, they didn't complete the ability to scaffold the auth. You saw a tweet that Azure is creating Azure provisional code in C# used by Aspire. Azure is creating C# provisional code? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. So I think I have the things I need. So I'm going to start creating this as Aspirify security context. And this is going to go from identity DB context. And I'm going to specify the type of my user. And I'm going to create an Aspirify user. Come on. Yep, generate that class. Don't mind if I do. And I want to inherit from Right? Application user? No? What's here? Identity user, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. You can make it generic if you want to specify the type of the key. I'm all right with what's there. But I don't want just an identity DB context, I believe. Yeah. The type of the role, I would like an identity role. Regular identity role. What's the primary key? String. Okay. So I've got an identity DB context for managing these. Oh, that's great, Warm Peas. Yes, Aspire. Aspire doesn't output bicep. Aspire outputs JSON. AZD outputs bicep from that JSON. So it's a couple step process to use Aspire. In this way, since it outputs a standard JSON format, folks can build tools that will allow you to use that JSON to target Kubernetes or AWS or the other tools that folks have built out there that you can use and work with. I'm keeping my eye on that Twitter feed. And if it gets out of control again with morons, we'll pivot over there and rant some more. But yeah, much respect to our friend Fierce Kittens. Much respect to her. I've not used C# Dev Kit, but the demo I saw, it looked like it had loads of thread sleep to make it act more like full-blown Visual Studio. You are a freaking moron. I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. So, but the overall, the post, 81,000 views, 73 replies, 743 likes, 110 bookmarks, 121 retweets. Some of the quotes are interesting and mostly supportive. I don't know anything about the .NET ecosystem outside of Unity, but all that free stuff is basically standard for a dev ecosystem. Okay. I don't know why people keep bashing Kia. All of their cars come with a steering wheel and 4 tires. You don't get free source control from anyone else. You don't. You don't get free CI/CD from anyone else. Where's the free CI/CD from Facebook? The Google developer experience, I thought they abandoned that. 2 things can be true at once. So you're going to keep throwing tomatoes. Good for you. Let's say, for example, Visual Studio for Mac. And there are plenty of other tools that you can also build with on Mac. Visual Studio Code, Rider, etc. I get those without .NET. I don't know what your argument is, and I'm not a .NET hater, just confused. I'm trying to... I'm frustrated with folks relying on the advice of someone who hasn't looked at .NET since 2013, who admittedly, and Microsoft tools since 2013. Take a look at what's currently available. I want technologists to be aware of what is available now and stop making, otherwise no one would be programming with Python 3 and be glued to Python 2.7. No, similarly, that's what I want to say. And we're not going to go into that with this person. Let's just say today. I don't need to stir it that much. One of the best decisions I made over the last year was picking up .NET. Framework's a lot better than it was 10 years ago. Has everything a developer needs for any type of platform. So, gonna keep an eye on it. So, oh look, and here come the bots. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Who doesn't enjoy seeing the sex bots jump on their thread? React Hub, the source control from React. Free CI/CD used to be better from Microsoft, and who started abusing it? Yeah, the amount of wrong information is startling. It is. Napalm's on a Mac right now. Writer's fantastic. Great. We need a GPT-powered .NET fact-checker bot. Totally. Bald bearded builder with the var comments. What really frustrated me over the weekend was the folks who jumped into my, hey, check out what we have in .NET and what tools are available, and started pushing their politicking on various .NET features and marketing. Shut up. That's not what this is. Shut up. You want to talk about that? Start your own thread. GPT is really bad at knowing feature availability over time. GPT is not trained on the news. If you want to know that stuff, look at Bing Chat. It is trained with the news. Yeah, let's look at Angular and React from 2013 and make judgments on it based on that. Yeah, look at Bing Chat. Chat.bing.com. And I'm not going to bring that up right now because it's going to show some of the things that I've been working on for another project that I can't share just yet. All right, so where was I? So I actually don't need to. Oh no, I need a right. I need a DB context options, right, for this context. Options, and this syntax is a little frustrating, not gonna lie, but that works. Let's rename the file, and let me show you what this is gonna do because I was tinkering with this over the weekend, and oh man, this was a little bit cool to do. Your brain just fills in chat. Acme, I'm feeling the same way. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna add the Postgres provider into this project. So let's do that. Browse, Aspire, Postgres, and I want this one. This is the library, but it includes health checks, metrics, logging, and telemetry. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay. So this is the first database that I'm adding to this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm... What is that? No, you go away. I'm going to add an extensions. Do I want to add that here? Nah. Leave that the way it is. I'm going to change this to a star so that I get the latest versions as they're. Do I want to get all the EF core? Hold that thought. Over in the website over here, we're gonna go up here and we're gonna add EF security context. So builder services, I need to put the context in here also. Comment that so it builds properly. Here. What am I doing? I just wrote it down like this one. There it is. Here. And I'm not doing that. Add NPG data source. Aspirify data security context. And I'm going to call it secure tay. Nope. Aspirify security context. We need to add that. No, you. We're going to add a project reference over to the other project. And you're going to see why in just a second. Hello. That one. Yep. Give me the using statement for that. And in my Aspire app host, I need to add Postgres into here. So I'll get that. Yes, they did rename Azure AD B2C. Have I considered using Entra? Yes and no. This one. The challenge with using Entra while it's really, really secure is you end up getting married to the Entra SDK team. And they still haven't renamed the SDK to Entra. That's coming. So, where was I? So, there's all the Storage Explorer stuff. There's the web. Add Postgres database for security storage. And we're going to put some other things in there also. But we'll start with this. Add Postgres security with database with user. It doesn't quite work like that. Let's call this. This is the DB server. So I've got a database named. Oh, come on. Add database. That's okay. I believe the now you can specify the username and password, but they have to come in as parameter resources. And this will break things. Down in here with reference. What's the other website? No. With PG admin. This is going to be a pain in the neck. No. With data volume. Okay. That should all build. Should. 3.1 to .NET 8 took less than 5 minutes. Johan, I got to hear about that. Yeah, the connection name is. That should have worked. I don't know why they put it off of the builder but not services. Postgres Aspire. Make sure I have that right. Builder add NPG data source. Oh, it doesn't have the. That's where it is. The Postgres EF component, though. Yeah, add NPG. Did I grab the. I grabbed the wrong one. My bad. See, this is me practicing for Wednesday. Changed target framework in CS Proj, updated packages, changed a handful of lines in the compiler, and it was built in tests. That's awesome. That is awesome. This one. Okay. What did I call it? Aspirify security context. No. Add NPG SQL. Oh, not data source. There we go. That's the one I want. Had a chat with someone at work who was using .NET 8 for a project, and they said, will it be supportable? Does it have any issues? They still use .NET frameworks. All right. So the database context is in there. I'm not going to wire up all the security stuff yet. I'm going to do the migration generation on this. Right? But I want the migrations to end up... Come here. I'm in this project. I'm in the website. I want the migrations to end up in the security website. We can do this. Right? So we're going to do .NET EF migrations. Add. First migration. Hang on. Let me get the syntax in front of me here. First migration, and I can specify the project to put it into. First, I'm going to specify the context, which is Aspirify data security, Aspirify security context, and I'm going to specify the project I want it in, which is Aspirify data security. That's a lot of code that I wrote. But it's going to build, and it should push things over. This is sad. What is sad? Build failed, really? Really? No, it does. I just put that in there. Where'd it go? Aspire NPG SQL. Yeah. .NET Clean. .NET Build. What technical debt are you looking at? Okay. 79 errors. Oh, dear Lord. It's the nullable properties. Yes, go ahead, do it. There we go. So there's my migrations. They're in the security project. Now, let's get the migrations to apply. Well, how do you do that in .NET Aspire, right? Because when we run things with .NET Aspire, let's... no. Right? Aspirify... Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally agree. 1 second. I'm missing a package. It should have been in there, but double check. I don't want .NET 9. I want 804. I believe Hey, guess what? That builds now. First migration. That should have been there. Should have been there. Now. Spirify, data security. I thought I just brought that in. Okay. What? App host line 39. Oh, here we go. And it's running. Yup. Container not found. Why don't you start it? Come on. It's trying to run Postgres 16.2. It should go get it. Look at all those nuns. There it is. Postgres 16.2. Hang on. Yeah, shut down Steam. You shouldn't be running right now. Where's... like... Pardon me while I clean up the mess here. Yeah, you can go away too. I thought there was like a Docker prune command or something that you could call that would clean all this nonsense up. but I can control click with the best of them. Like, holy smokes. There must be 5 or 6 gig of just... Sure. Yeah, delete all of those containers. Alright, better. Try and run that again. The container's there. Go ahead and run it. Yeah, see, it ran that time. There you go, it's running. So, there's PG admin, there's the Postgres. We click into this, and we should see the database over on the other side. Don't tell me PG admin's taking its good old time. You know, it feels like it does take its good old time getting started. So, okay. Anyways, so I'm going to add now a worker service that actually does the migration. I thought this was an interesting technique. It's in the documents. So I'm going to add a solution folder here. And I'm going to create a solution folder called maintenance. And I'm going to put the build tasks in there, but I'm also going to add a worker service that does the migration. Where's the worker service? Aspirify data migration service. Sure, Linux is fine. .NET SDK, that's fine too. Go ahead and enlist. Be my guest. Here we go. And where'd it go? Yeah, this one. Oh, it's already in maintenance. Good. No, not a project. Let's organize the Solution Explorer a smidge because this is gonna start to get busy over here. I'm gonna add a solution folder. And I'm gonna add one more. So I'm going to move. I'm going to leave common out. But I'm going to move security up into here, web up into here, app host up into here, thumbnail service into services, service defaults into services also. So I can hide all that cruft that I don't really want to see. You found that technique in the documentation, right? So I'm going to be working down here in the maintenance branch for just a smidge. So let's start off, add a new project reference. I'm going to add it into my security branch over here. Security project. So program knows how to get in and connect to these things. Now this technique that Blackstone's pointed out, you can find this on Aspirify. If you search for Entity Framework. Database migrations with Entity Framework core sample. And this is in the documentation. This has an API service because what the actual service does is secondary. What we want to see is how to migrate. There's a migration service and the API model. Let me show you the code. So, just like we did, we ran the migrations and we dumped the migrations into the other project. And what we're going to do is inside the migration service, add hosted service, DB initializer that you see there. Pin this open. Thank you. That's the worker. It adds open telemetry pointing to, we're going to have an activity source for this so that we can track and report and have the migration tasks hiding somewhere. Hey, Grego Waffles, I'm doing all right. So let's, I'm going to close some of these other things just for right now, including the web project, the thumbnail service, and these common objects. Fairy Wings!
Fairy Wings just resubscribed for 67 months. Boop.
Boop indeed. Thank you so much. 67 months. And at the end of the month, I'm going to make a donation. All of our subscriptions, all of our cheers, all of our ad revenue, I'm going to donate to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Fairy, you'd be proud of me and the rant I had about an hour ago. Yes, IoT is a thing. Oh, yeah. Just like NFTs were a thing. And the nonsense tuned down on that. So add service defaults. I'm going to go into the worker over here, and we're going to create a name for our activity service. Right? Private, not private. I could make it public, but whatever. Activity name equals migration service. Okay. Service defaults. So we add open telemetry pointing to that. There it is. But instead of it being this, it's going to be worker activity name. And then adds database context pool so that it knows how to get to it. Yeah, oh yeah. I had a tweet that went viral over the weekend, and I went nuts about some of the responses to it and some of the morons that were just talking inaccurate trash in response to that tweet. It was wonderful. I'm not going to set up an execution strategy, nor am I using SQL Server, but I am setting up to use Postgres over here. So let's add that same database reference that's right there. Add it right. No, not. It's a package reference. There we go. Da, 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 da. Right. So the way this did it was builder services and DB context pool. No. We're going to do builder.add npg data source. No, add npg. Did I do that wrong again? I think I did. I need this one. Right? Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. But let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Yes, we need that, and I think I need services here. Okay. Nope, that's not it. And it's not SQL Server. You fool! Use npg SQL. Get connection string. Nope. It's security. Because we're going to get the exact same connection string over here. But I need to pass it in, and I need to make Aspire aware of this service. So back up into app host. So it already added the data migration service. Yes. With reference to SecurityDB. So now it knows how to pass the information in about the databases. I've got this extra NDiv down here. We don't need that. Goodbye. Yeah. Okay. So now it knows how to start up this service. But wait, there's more. We added the telemetry. Cool. So now over here in the actual worker process that's going to go through and start doing the interaction. I'm just going to copy the technique that's over here in the initializer that takes in a service provider and takes in host application lifetime. That's using what we call primary constructor notation. Looks weird putting it right up on the actually let's not put it there, because I've already got a thing here that's collecting the logger. Let's put it there. Okay. All right. And let's stash a copy of these things. Sure. Sure. Okay. Looks really weird. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. So when it executes, here's what we're going to do right here. Who dat?
Ridge Raider 42 just resubscribed for 5 months.
Ridge Raider, thank you so much for the resub. 5 months with us, and I'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. All of our cheers, all of our subs, all the ad revenue. Thank you so much for that support. Yeah, it's not cancellation token. It's stopping token. This is going to be, what did I call it? Aspirify security context. Okay. I don't need to do all of that. We need to create an activity source. Let's create one right there. So this is for the logging activity name. So we have an activity source so that the telemetry flows. Are they going to fix the top level constructor not having read-only support? There's been discussion around it. So it needs to create the activity right at the top of the execution. Yeah, it's right there. Why don't you know how to do this? So it's going to create an entry, a telemetry entry that says we're migrating the database. We're going to create the scope, we're going to create the database context, and I'm just going to say database context, database, migrate async. That's it. And this should migrate the database and apply everything at startup. Just do a build for the sanity check, make sure everything's working. It's not running out here, is it? No, it's not running. Oh, it is. It is. You, go away. Build succeeded. Good. Now I'll run. I'll run it from over here because I feel like running it from over here. Primary constructors are not for DI. Why aren't they for DI? I think they work great for DI. Here it goes. So when this starts up, it's going to start this little service and do the migration. And when it's done, shut down that service. I show you. And all these services, and there's the migration service, and it's already marked finished. Check that out. Check that out. And it's got 2 errors. Background service failed, is configured to stop host. Yeah. It's thrown an unhandled exception. Yeah. Password authentication failed. I've run into this before. M. Pulowski with the resub.
Orlowski just resubscribed for 47 months. Been a while.
47 months. How you doing there, friend? Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The problem... This creates a database password, and it generates it. We need to create a parameter to submit that thing in. Security DB password equals builder add parameter. Thank you. Name is going to be security DB password. And sure, make it a secret. Be my guest. I'm only going to do this in the debug local instance. Because the way that Postgres works locally, it's kind of lame. Else and if and now I can specify, where is it? Password equals security DB password. It should be colon. There we go. And I'm going to force that in here. Working locally, I can specify it. Nope. Nope. Really? Control C. Control V. There we go. Live chat rules. You do. That's my default local password for that it will create and use. Go start it. And that'll build, it'll start. And only in the debug instance will it create and inject that. Now, when I get to production, I want to use the Azure Postgres Flexible server hosting. And it'll configure and manage all the secrets for that when we get there. We're not there yet. And there's the migration. 2 errors. Has thrown an unhandled exception. Yes, what is it? I think we need to change the data volume. Here. My local security DB. So it'll initialize it with the password that I specified. So here we go. Come on. Let's go. I want to see this. Nightmare!
Nightmare just resubscribed for 48 months. Good morning.net friends.
48 months. 4 years with us. Nightmare, thank you so much for that support. And I'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Much appreciate that. Here it is starting up. There's the data migration. Running, finished. Check this out. It created and migrated everything. Now that's kind of cool that we can see it there and it shut down. What's really cool is we can see the trace. And we can view the details. Stop it. Right? And we can see that no events. It ran just fine. And be able to click right through to the log and see exactly what was executed. Very cool. You like the dashboard a lot? We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Like, we literally just sprinkled in, 3 lines of open telemetry? Not going to go further today, but we're just getting started. Right, and I should be able to... There's the migration service. Right. Right, I could see that there were exceptions. The GC duration... Right, it's shut down now. So... And I could see that... There's the number of assemblies for running the website. No messing with Grafana for local. It's all right here. But it updated that database. So I can open pgadmin now and look at that database. There's my security server. Just what I named it, NapHost. Go into my databases, Postgres, but there's the security database, right? I named it security in AppHost. Go to my schemas. Let's go to the public schema. Thank you for already opening that. Look at the tables. And there's all my ASP.NET tables. So I can maintain those tables and sample data all in my code. Brilliant. Right. Corey, I completely agree with you. It's easier than I expected. I think there's a little bit of boilerplate code here that we as a community would do a nice job wrapping up and pushing out there so that, quite frankly, this little migration service, this thing right here, I want to be able to point to a collection of database contexts and just say, go migrate these things. You hope a dark theme for the dashboard? You hope a dark theme for the dashboard. How you doing, Blackstones? How you doing, buddy? I got you. I got you! Huh? What do you think? Come on now. It'll also adapt to whatever your system preference is. So, they're working on it. So, but yeah, wrapping the migration into just a little NuGet package that has some good logging and telemetry. Fantastic, man. Gotcha. Love it. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I wish you'd theme my dashboard again. Where's Michael Jolly and his .NET songwriting skills when I need him here, man? Anyways, so that's kind of cool, and I don't mind this waking up and running in a container service because it runs and shuts down, right? It ran in all of 3 seconds, right? If we look at the logs again, right? So it ended at 11:07:04, and it started at 11:07:02, right? 3 seconds. Napalm, I have had my coffee, and I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling good. Anyways, so I've got my security server. I've got those tables out there that I can work with. So Blackstones, I'll agree with you that PG admin, this needs a dark mode. I'd love for this to get a dark mode. I'm with you on that one. Like, is it in here? Display. Yeah, then I don't see graphs, miscellaneous. They have a dark mode. Look at that. All right. I stand corrected. So, tables are out there. Dark reader. Oh, Zoums. You're right. Yeah, dark reader's pretty good to just kind of force it anyway. How you doing there, Kaminarin? Hello. I need to create my default admin role out here also, right? I should have done that previously, but we can do that now. Override on, model creating. Builder. That's not how you spell builder. That's like the French builder, right? Entity. Role? Identity role? I think that's it. Can I say has, right? Has data. There it is. And pass in a collection of roles. Fantastic. Ta-da. New identity role. Role name. Yes. Admin. So now I've got an admin role. Rebuild and apply changes. Am I on fire today? Good. What do you see we do tomorrow? Because next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to start removing passwords. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to make you log in with an open ID. And I think, right, that's a point where you can also jump off and use an Auth0 tool to get in there. Starting with Overwatch today, I think wound me up. I think it did a little bit. Not gonna lie. So did it? Not Storage Explorer. Where's PG? What's the database? Security. That one. I want to change the name of this thing over here. From security server PG admin. I want to change the name of that, John. All right, now it's going to take a few seconds to load up. Happy to start the conversation, Corey. Salty watch? Yes. Oversalt? Yes. Databases, security, schemas. Like, Corey, I would love to talk to you about a way to plug Auth0 into Aspire so that I can say builder, add Auth0, and be able to work with those security resources. So let's see if it actually...
Gene80 just resubscribed for 54 months.
Jean Valjean, that's coder 24601 to you. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. And we'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Much appreciated. 54 months. Oh my gosh, my friend. Thank you so much. And it spits out right config steps as well. It gives you flexibility where needed. A little bit of an analyzer and a code fixer to go with that so that it steers you in the right direction. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Do I need to add another migration, I guess, for that? Maybe I do. Not this one. Maybe I do. Right, can I call this, add admin role? Can I do that? Will that generate and add that data? Maybe? I think. Come on. Drum roll. Is it because it's still running? It's because it's still running. Ah, build succeeded. Good. Okay. I think it did something. Let's see. Migrations. Did it add one? Add admin role. ASP.NET roles. Insert data. So if I restart this now, it'll run the migration and add the admin role. Kind of crummy to have two migrations in the same commit. It was a rough drum roll. Can I hire a drummer to do a longer drum roll? I don't expect the drum roll to go that long. It's intended to be a gimmick. Will I demonstrate integration testing with Aspire? Eventually. With Playwright? Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Take a look at the logs. Look at that. Applying migration, insert into. Ta-da, there's an admin role. And, right, I can go back to the trace. Thumbnail service, yeah, it doesn't know what to do. Migration service is right here, 3.6 seconds. There it is. And right there's the individual logs of it doing checking to see and applying the migration. There it is, if I didn't want to go down and look at the console. Nice. So now I have an admin role. Great. That only gets me so far, though. Next steps. Let's write... I need to end soon here. Well, let's... We've got it migrating and applying the stuff to the database. Let's add some of this stuff. What do you say? And I know that the red is hard to read. I should fix that at some point. Add all the things. Started adding database and context for security. Push that, track it. Good. Okay. Next steps. I want to start removing password, and I want to start adding a Entra application in Azure so that I can do a login with my Microsoft account. Right? Do I want to do that, or do I want to jump to the invite codes first? let's do the invite code first. Let's do the invite code first. Yeah. Because we could do the invite code. Ooh. So, when Aspire runs, for security purposes, it doesn't just pop you right into the dashboard when you run it at the command line. It gives you a URL with a login token to get into the dashboard. When you first run Aspire, if it's the first run and we don't have any users in the when you first run Aspirify and there aren't any users in the database, generate an invite token that's here so that I can register my first user. That's going to be an admin, right? I need a way to kind of ramp up and start the users. And I need a way to kind of lock that down and say, well, let's see what we get. So, you don't need that token. If you run .NET Launch, it'll launch automatically. You don't need, if you .NET Run, I think launches it automatically also, actually. In the current context, the current session. That way, if there's multiple users logged in, you can't access by default each other's system. And in Visual Studio, when you debug, it'll jump through and navigate directly to that login. Curious how well Aspire would work with CAF ALZ concepts. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the acronyms. Help me out there. Yeah, .NET Watch. So let's create. Let's create a check. I need to create the token provider first. Okay. I'm going to start with the token provider. And there's a couple of nice articles out here about ASP.NET and using it to generate invite tokens. Particularly on Stack Overflow, there's a couple of folks that have talked about this concept. It's available in User Manager to generate a user token for a user and verify that user token asynchronously with a bunch of strings. So there's another... Nope. There's another question about this. No, that's not the one I want. Stack Overflow. Invitation using a token. No, that's not it. Why didn't it like me going here? This is it. So we can create a custom token provider that knows how to go and have the appropriate duration for these tokens. And Corey, I'm guessing you might be cringing a little bit there. Hold on. So it's like passwordless login, I think. And a couple of folks write articles about this. Yeah, sure. This isn't the one I'm thinking. No. This one. Andrew does a good job with this. Slack and some other websites, you sign in with your email, and when you want to log in, it sends you an email. right? You never have a password. It sends you an email with a 15-minute token that you can click to log in. How do you do that? And it generates some ugly token to come in. So there's a couple classes that you can implement, and it will allow you to log in automatically. I'm going to do that. And for this type of invite token, I'm going to set the duration, the expiration, for like 3 days. I'm going to send you an invite to join, and if you don't log in 3 days, magic link, exactly. So, how do we do that? So, I'm going to create some of these. Right, and this is the idea of, I just want to invite some folks to be able to create and get into the application, and then we'll allocate appropriate roles later. Maybe before? I don't know. I'm going to call this, I'm going to rename this to invite token provider options. Invite token provider. And I'm going to make it, by default, 3 days. Cloud adoption framework, mostly best practices. The Azure landing zones. Those are two different things. Aspire is mostly a developer tool. How it gets into that is different. So we can specify how long that is. We can override the default in the configure services here. But we're going to use a different provider instead of the time-oriented token provider. Right? I want to use a shorter provider with a different token lifetime. So I'm going to inherit from this. And actually I can CTOR and override those. Right? Thank you. Yep. Okay. And then I'm going to create my login token provider. Oh, friends. We've got another victim. I'm going to call this my invite token provider. That's fine. Invite token provider. Invite token provider options. And it wants a logger as well. Okay. Invite token provider. Well, like this. There we go. Okay. So now I can add and reference that. Cool. I'll catch up with you later, Corey. We've got somebody else that wants to mouth off about Spent the last decade making it hard to like or defend them. They killed the Speakers Bureau's Ineta. That was 15 years ago. Gets mad and calls you a traitor. No. That was more than 10 years ago that Ineta was disbanded. And doesn't affect the quality of the developer tools or framework. .NET Foundation has stepped into this role of supporting the speakers. Who calls someone a traitor? Not folks on the .NET team. So, I'm not an extension of Microsoft marketing, yet Microsoft expected me to be it and got mad when I didn't. Didn't want to hear my feedback. Who didn't want to hear your feedback? The Developer Tools division wants to hear all feedback and will act on the best interests for all customers. Give me a break. People don't want solutions. They are just stuck with what they know and love. So even if we could argue for the good things with .NET, they'll still be stuck in the early thousands when they first encountered it. Unfortunately.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
So we're gonna get this thing generating tokens, but maybe we can get here. Maybe we can get here. We need a little bit of this is going to help make it easier to add. Copy that in. Add password list. No, I'm going to call this add invite. Add invite token provider. Invite token provider. And invite token provider. And when we're adding it, we can now add that token provider. So now I have a way to generate tokens and put them out there. The question that you're going to ask, because I asked the exact same question. I know what you want to know because I ran into this, and trust me, I know, you know? Here it comes. There we go. It's going to store those. I gotta wait for this thing to get started. That container, the PG admin container, takes a while to start up. Yep, I'm wearing my live share hat today. Here it comes. So we can click into PG admin. Come on, get loaded. Let's go, let's go. And here it comes. Here it comes. Yes. Databases, security, schemas, tables. It's going to put it in this tokens. That has user ID, login provider, name, and value. So when we generate a token, it's going to drop it in here, and it will know when to expire it. So, I'm not sure how it knows when to expire it because there isn't a date timestamp out there. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I have my token provider, and all the jazz to go along with it. So, I can add it in here. Now, I haven't created this yet. To here, right? To add identity, blah, 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 blah. And it's just a little bit different. So, I need to add these bits, and it's going to be off of a little bit of this add. Oh, it's down here at the identity core, right? I'm going to grab these. Head over to program. Yeah, it's program. Not that program. I want the web program. Because we're going to start wiring this drawing up. Program. There it is. See? I know. You're okay. Program. Added the EF security context, memory, development. Let's do it before data protection here. Add identity configuration. Right? So I do need to do this little bit here and then this. So identity user accessor. That's a, where's that coming from? Right. Oh, these are in the wrong namespace. Wait a second. I thought I copied in account. Yeah, you. I thought I copied all that stuff in. There it is, account. There's nothing in there. You make me sad. No. Blazor template with auth. Components. Account. Go up one. Paste. But I do need to go through... Right? There it is. Everywhere that is, I need to replace with Aspirify Web. Okay. Now, Aspirify Web data doesn't exist. But I can add to my imports, right? I can add that. Maybe I do want the data. Oh, fine. And over here, it's not application user. We need to replace those with, what did I call it? Aspirify user? Is that what I just called it? I forget what I called it. Yeah. Yep, replace all of those. 84 occurrences taken care of. Nice. I need to put a global using in. Because this will remove. Thank you. Sure. So here's the old bits. Use NPG SQL. What was that? Oh my goodness. Sandman Swagger, thank you so much for the $20 donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, moving that needle for us. Thank you so much. And takes us to $11.60. Much appreciate the donation for the kids, for the families at St. Jude. Thank you, thank you. When that number gets to $12.50, the next incentive, the next milestone is for me to color my beard rainbow. Oh yeah, that's a thing. So that's coming up. We're close. $90 more, right? 90? No, not 90. 1160. No, 90. Yeah, I was right. Maths. I'm not good at the maths. We will color my beard rainbow for a stream. Yep, security. I've got that named right now, so it's going to get that connection string. This should be a Spirify security context. But I want to do a find and replace everywhere for that. Cool. That's the only place in the entire solution. Care to make that interesting? Go ahead and build that, John. Anybody else did the peeps? We did a handful of peeps. I think we did 3 peeps last time for the wheel of peeps. I'm wrapping up now, so I'm not going to be able to do any redemptions. Building. There we go. 8 succeeded. Cool. So I've got everything hooked up now so that we can start interacting with and building onto. So it's using my Postgres, connecting to the Postgres database we just created. Add database developer page exception. But right in here, we need to add our new token. So this wants to say add password list login token provider. Add invite token provider. And now I can generate invite tokens. I want to create a little bit of detection using the user manager during startup sequence that if there aren't any users created yet, generate a link for somebody to log in and generate that first admin user, right? That feels like the appropriate thing to do. But I am out of time here today, friends. Thank you so much again. Where'd it go? Let me back up. So, Sandman Swagger, I'll drop your name on the thank you page on my blog. Big thanks to all of our contributors for St. Jude donations. We're going to continue that all month long. Yeah, let me wrap up here. Let's wrap up, and we'll talk more about. We're going to do a Hot One style spicy chicken wings and tech discussion stream later this week. I'd love to do that on... I can't do it Thursday. I think we're going to do it on Friday then. Let me see if we can do that on Friday. And we're going to be inviting our friend Carl Franklin to join us for a stream. Lots going on. Loving the content. Thank you, Sandman Swagger. Much appreciate. Much appreciate. Oh, yeah. And we will go with the spiciest wings that Buffalo Wild Wings has available, right? Gradually scaling up from mild to... I believe their spiciest is just called wild. I think the Carolina Reaper last year was spicier, but we will be doing that coming up. You met Carl at Build in 2019. Great guy. Absolutely. Carl and I do a podcast every week. You can find it on YouTube called The Blazor Puzzle, where we talk about ASP.NET Core, Blazor, .NET development, and show you some tricky behaviors with the Blazor framework. That's all the time for me here. Buffalo or Bison? Buffalo. It's a reference actually to the town. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to. Maybe they're doing some tech. They're doing some interesting stuff out there that might be fun to visit. I think we're gonna join. I think we're gonna join our friend Lana Lux. Who's building and developing her I think that's her game. She's building a game called Strain using Unity, .NET. So let me get you set up to go visit with our friend Lana. Thank you so much for being a part of today's stream. I'll be back tomorrow. We might not pick up exactly where we left off here. I may get a little bit further ahead in setting up invitation codes so that we can invite users to log in with an OpenID user, right? Log in with your Microsoft account, your Google account, your Twitter account to our application. All right? Thank you so much, friends. I will see you tomorrow. Get ready to say hi to Lana Lux. Have a good one, and I wish you good health and good coding. Take care. There we go.